What's going on, everybody? It's another Friday, so you know what that means. It's time to hang out with both of us, the Sportaholics. Peyton, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, man. I gotta say, to start it off, I'm gonna do my best job ad-libbing today. And you know, it's a lighter show in general, a little fluffier, a little more culture, less X's and O's. So I'm excited to get into it.
Yes, sir. Like he said, we are going a little bit light today, man. Less X and O's, and we're just gonna hang out, have a good time. I hope you guys are having a good time with us as well. If you like having a good time with us while we're at it, make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe this video right here. Give us a shout out on social media. You can follow us at the Sportaholics, man. We're looking forward to continue the conversation with you guys. So by all means, hit us up. Let us know what you think about the show. And you know, it could be good, it could be bad, don't matter. We're looking for all types of feedback. So please let us know what you want to see, what you don't want to see. Less me, more him. I'm for it.
Or the other way around. You never know.
whichever way works. But you already know how we do it on Fridays, man. Peyton, what we drinking today?
Oh, yes, sir. More Evan Williams Green Apple.
Yes, sir.
You guys have noticed a theme here. We keep going back to this, and it's because it's really good.
Yes, sir. Yes,
right?
sir.
So
we love it, man. What flavor are we drinking on?
Yeah, the Green Apple Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey blended with the apple liquor and caramel color.
Okay.
All right? So we're almost done with the bottle. Maybe we'll change it up next week.
Maybe.
But I don't know. It's so good. We might have to go back to the well.
Maybe. I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see what happens next week. Maybe we could finish this bottle.
Yeah.
Today.
I'm betting on it. I'm banking on it.
Well, it looks like we're almost done now. So
yeah.
Man, just like the show, that bottle was also a little light. But while we toast it up, you guys sit back, relax, and we'll be on the other side of the intro. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yes, sir. All right, Peyton, man, like you said before the intro, we're going to keep it a little bit light. So today I want to take it a little bit inside the scrum and talk about some sound bites that we heard throughout the week, man. So let's just go ahead and jump into that, man. One of the biggest stories that broke to me this week was the media is basically saying that they want a piece of the pie. And Deion Sanders did not hold back when he had his thoughts on that. I don't know if you heard this soundbite, but one of the most outspoken coaches in college football, Deion Sanders, believes that the media is envious of college athletes because they are now getting NIL deals, and he feels like they're attacking the players in the way that they are questioning them. Did you have a chance to see that clip of Deion?
I had a chance to see the clip. Mm-hmm. I haven't had a chance to see any of the reports of the reporters being critical of the players in terms of taking personal attacks on them, but it's a fair assumption by Deion.
Yeah. I can believe that the media is jealous. I mean, by all means, just imagine, you know, I was once a teacher, right? And I'm not saying that this is from my standpoint, but just imagine you pull up to school in your car, but the students are driving better cars than you. You would feel some type of way. You know what I mean? So I can understand the concept, and I'm jealous. You know, I'm jealous as well. I wish I grew up in a time where athletes got paid to play college football. Maybe that would have gave me a bit more of an incentive to focus on football and how I brand myself. You know, growing up in the time that I did, I'm not going to let you guys know what time I grew up or what years I played football. We're going to just keep that on the wraps. But
it's not too much past my time either, just so y'all know.
Hey, listen, all I'm going to say is VHS tapes were a thing. All right. And if you just asked yourself what a VHS tape is, that means you're probably too young for this this show. And Peyton probably asking himself that. He's
Hey, I was a 90s baby. I'm aware.
Okay.
Not super familiar, but aware.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, I wish I had that opportunity to, you know, get the opportunity to be a little bit more incentive driven when it came to sports. Like my incentive was, hey, you go to college, you get a free education. And really that was one of the things that was drilled into my home. But with that being said, like this is the time that we're living in. So the media really has to kind of get with the program at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. And the one thing I'll say for Deion is it always seems like he's trying to make a point. I think he's such a big star and he's interesting in and of himself to the point where he doesn't have to make a point each time he goes to the podium. You know, like we're going to hear what he has to say. We're going to watch his team. But he does make it more interesting because he's always got a point to prove.
No, I hear you when you say that, but what I will say is I appreciate the fact that he is stepping up for the players and letting his voice be known, because if he doesn't do it, who else on the coaching staff or the team is going to do it? If the players lash out to the media, they're going to look bad. But what I will say, just like with Deion before, when the media was coming at him in a personal way, by all means, like if you're coming at me in a personal way, that's where I have to draw a line in the sand and I have to say, look, this is where I hold my ground. Like you could call me the worst player to ever pick up a football, but by all means, don't come at me personally. Just like you, I didn't hear what the question was. I just heard that soundbite, but I thought it was something worth noting because obviously it was something that made Deion sound off like that.
That's true. That's a good point, man.
Yeah, that's all I can say. I'm glad that he stepped up for his team. But speaking of somebody else stepping up for their team, Marshall takes on Ohio State this weekend.
Yeah.
You think they're ready?
They're ready. I don't know what the score is going to be, but I know they're going to be ready to go.
They do seem ready, and they seem like they're also looking for other players to join their team if possible.
Yeah.
Maybe some of those fast guys from Ohio State if they want to transfer down. So the coach from Ohio State says
from Marshall.
Marshall, yes. From Marshall says if any player from Ohio State wants to transfer down, by all means, he has a Biscuit NIL for anybody that's looking to transfer. He can guarantee all you can eat biscuits. Would you transfer to another podcast on me for all you can eat biscuits, Peyton?
First of all, of course not.
Okay. All right.
But I will say,
I don't know, man.
A great biscuit is hard to beat.
Okay.
You know, if it's got the right components, if it doesn't make your throat too dry, like.
Listen, the argument that we were having off camera was, Red Lobster has the best biscuits, so on and so forth. Now,
right.
If you've ever driven through North Carolina, South Carolina, I don't know if they still exist, but there was a place called Biscuitville.
Oh. Biscuitville
used to have some of the softest, buttery biscuits that I've ever had in my life, and the biscuits that Coach from Marshall was referring to was Tudor's Biscuits. That's what he said. He has the Tudor's Biscuit NIL deal.
Hey, I bet they're pretty good.
Well, they have to be good.
He was selling them. It felt authentic when I was watching.
What I will say is if they weren't good, they better step their game up because they probably just got a lot of business coming their way. Because it was on ESPN. It was all over social media. So by all means, man. But what's the best biscuit that you've ever had?
Popeyes.
Popeyes is good, but do you need a drink on the side with Popeyes biscuit?
That's a good point. You might want to wash it down with the soda.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm about to say, but do you or do you just eat the whole biscuit?
Shoot, I'll have a soda and a water.
Okay. All right.
Make sure it's down.
Okay. All right. 'Cause that biscuit right there will it will make or break your life. Like that.
Yeah.
So I've seen somebody on social media actually take those Popeyes biscuits and just eat them like they were crackers, bro. Like it's crazy, man. So that's that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Coach at Marshall, for the guys that's watching that's at Ohio State, if y'all looking to transfer, man, if y'all love a good biscuit, go holler at the coach.
I don't blame the coach right there. He's just having some fun, poking at the media.
For sure.
I like what he had to say. I laughed at it. It was a good time.
Definitely. And let's just switch gears here in a more serious note, right? So this next segment or this next section, I'm calling a walking bucket. With that being said, it seemed like yesterday where Asia Wilson was dominating college basketball. It's already been 5 years, and the narrative has not changed. She's dominating still, but now she's in the WNBA. Mm-hmm. She just broke 1,000 points. She's the first female to break 1,000 points in the WNBA season. So congratulations to her. How do you feel?
Man, she's another one that is incredibly fun to watch.
Yeah.
And she can get to that pull-up jumper whenever she wants. She's got a great handle. She uses her body, and it's fitting that she scored her 1,000 point on the season with a pull-up jumper.
Yeah,
you know?
it's crazy that you say it's fitting, because definitely she solidified the fact that she is her. You know, and she didn't stop there. Like, it didn't stop there by all means. As we all know, Angel Reese is out for the season, and she broke the NBA rebounding record, but Asia also broke that as well. So not only is she the first woman to score 1,000 points in a season, but she's also the single season rebound holder. So congratulations to her. Don't stop doing what you're doing, man. I've always been a big fan of you. I thought you were amazing coming out of college. So by all means, like, big ups to Asia Wilson and the Aces.
Hey, and she's got a real chance to lead her team to a big-time playoff run.
I mean,
we've already talked about how strong that team is,
right.
And to have a leader like that,
right?
Those are good components.
And they won the ship last year, so yeah. I mean, by all means, like,
sure,
they are the team to beat right now, and
yeah,
it seemed like Asia don't want to let that go. So looking forward to the next season.
Oh yeah.
All right, Peyton.
Yeah,
Peyton. I need you to get serious. I need you to put your serious hat on. Go ahead. Put your serious hat on.
I don't think my head's gonna fit in there.
All right, here we go. Oh, when the Saints. Oh, when the Saints. When the Saints go marching in. All right. I've been asking Peyton to sound off on the Saints for a while, and he just won't do it, guys. He just won't do it.
I feel like there's too much hype around this banter.
Yeah.
And, you know, on the last live episode, I actually sounded off for a good bit, but you're just expecting me to jump off the board, take a huge leap. It's only 2 weeks. They've done a great job. What do you have to say about them?
Okay. Yeah. I got a crazy stat for you, Peyton.
All right.
All right, here we go. So maybe we'll get one out of him after this, right? So here we go. This season, the Saints have scored on every possession. Every offensive possession that they've had, they've scored 3, 6, 7 points, right?
Man. So
that number is 14 times. They've had the ball 14 times this season in 2 games. All right. Who that nation, where you at? Y'all make some noise for my boy Peyton. Because give the people what they want, Peyton. Is this anything?
It's definitely something and anything. Okay, so I've talked about this at length, but we go back to the play caller, right? And it's kind of boring. He's the guy that's on the sideline with his call sheet above his mouth, making the plays. But the reason I bring him up is because
give KAMARA the ball.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. That's a big part of it.
Yeah.
But like I've said in the past, the personnel on the offensive side of the ball is not that different than it was last year.
Right.
I mean, we do have the new left tackle rookie in Talielise Fuaga. Other than that, you're talking about the same components. So you're talking about a guy that came in there and really changed everything on the offensive side of the ball. A team that was last in pre-snap motion going to first in pre-snap motion in one off season. So at this point, it's fair to say that the 2 biggest differences between last year's Saints team and this year's Saints team are a healthy Derek Carr and a new brilliant offensive coordinator.
Talk about it then.
Yeah.
Let them know. First of all, I commend you on that pronunciation of whatever name that was you said, because I can't say it. What was it?
Well, I don't know if I've got it 100% down. I know I have the last name down. Talielise Fuaga?
I don't know. I have no idea. But
he's a great player so far. He's only played 2 games. But
the way it rolled off your tongue, I was convinced.
You bought it.
I did.
Okay, that's what counts. That's what counts at the end of the day.
I did, man. And not only that, but after the victory, Dennis Allen tapped into the culture as well, right?
Hey, y'all, full disclosure, Russ had to let me know where this reference came from. That's how much I live under a rock, okay?
Not at all.
Just to let y'all know.
Dennis Allen, he quoted some lyrics from a rapper. saying that sometimes you got to pop out and show them.
I like it.
I told you already who the rapper was, so
Kendrick.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure that you remember. Yeah. Okay, all right. So he quoted Kendrick Lamar, the Super Bowl 59 halftime performer, and I must say, he did a good job of holding back because the version that he sang, I had never heard it before. He replaced a couple words in there. Yeah. So congratulations to him. But this comes after the Saints destroyed the Cowboys, and hey, that quote right there was fitting.
Pretty spot on.
Very fitting. Like, by all means, like, not only did they show up, but they popped out and let them know.
Well, I'll say this too, man. I don't know if you can call the Saints-Cowboys a rivalry, but I can tell you this. Those two fan bases do not like each other. Whenever they play each other, if you're at the game, you would think it's a divisional rivalry. So Saints real happy to get that one.
Yeah, I would say it's Cowboys versus everybody. Like, honestly,
that's fair too. That's fair too.
It don't matter who the Cowboys playing. Like, as a fan base, no matter what your team is, you probably cannot stand the Cowboys.
Yeah,
right. And
that makes sense.
I do think that the Cowboys are on a bit of a pedestal for no reason, but that's neither here nor there. And that's also another discussion for another day. But I'm happy for the Saints. I want to give the Saints their flowers because they showing up and showing out right now.
I'm glad you do, man.
Yeah, man.
And thanks for trying to get me hyped. If we beat the Eagles this Sunday, I'll have an all-time hype rant for all you guys.
Hey, listen,
so that's the ultimate test.
What I will say is you're kind of like me with my Miami Dolphins, my Miami Hurricanes. I don't want to get too hyped because I know exactly where we've been in the past. So if things are looking good and things are on the up and up, I'm going to just chill and let things continue to play out however they will play out. So
you got it.
I understand 100%, but I gotta poke the bear. I gotta let you know, like, yo, I want to hear something from you. But I'm happy for the Saints fans. I'm happy for the Saints organization, but mostly for you, Peyton. Mostly for you, Peyton, because I know how it feels, and I know it feels good.
It's been good, and I don't think that's the last we're gonna hear about the Cowboys this episode. But just saying.
Okay. All right. We will see. All right. So, Lil Bro versus Big Bro, or Lil Bro or Big Bro. All right. CJ Stroud tried to pull a vet move and encourage rookie Caleb Williams after the Texans defeated the Bears Sunday night, and Caleb wasn't trying to hear it. Whose side are you on? Are you on Caleb's side? Or are you on CJ Stroud's side?
That's a good question. You threw me a bit of a curveball there. I wasn't expecting that question, but I like it. I think there are two ways to look at this and what really happened on the field after the game. Some are saying that they can see that Caleb can be a little off-putting at times. Others are saying he was just upset about the defeat. And in that moment, he wasn't really present to CJ Stroud. He was thinking about how his team had just lost the game.
Right.
Which makes sense. So on this one, I'm landing in the middle, and I hate to do that. I'm somewhere in the middle because at some point as a competitor, I get it. And he wasn't exactly being a sore loser. He still, went up to CJ, heard what he had to say for the most part.
Right.
So this is a tough one for me. I'm interested to see what you think.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say that CJ Stroud was trying to big bro him. What I will say is, coming from the shoes that Caleb is walking in right now, CJ Stroud was a successful rookie quarterback, which is rare in today's game. And he probably, after every loss, he probably got the same speech from all the other veteran quarterbacks in the game. So he was doing what he was pretty much taught. And as a quarterback, you want to see others succeed in the game as well. You know what I mean? I don't want you to beat me, but by all means, bro. And it was very mindful advice that he gave him. It wasn't like he was like, bro, you don't hold your head on this game. He told him something that's going to make his career last, especially after what we just witnessed with that guy from Miami, Tua Tagovailoa. By all means, like, you cannot continue to take those hits. And he told him that he's going to be a dog in this league. And if he figures out a way to be successful without taking those hits. Like, look at Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is probably one of the fastest, if not the fastest quarterback in the NFL, but he don't take hits like that.
Yep.
And the best players don't take hits like that. Like, now I get it. Let's just stick on quarterbacks because I'm not going to bring other positions into this. But Josh Allen is a big quarterback, and he can take on other defenders like that, but he don't take on unnecessary hits unless he have to. But he's built to last, right?
Right.
Lamar Jackson, he's smart enough to know, let me run out of bounds. Let me slide. Like he understands, like, I cannot be out here banging with these linebackers or DBs who are trying to take my head off. So,
and Russ, as we're talking about this, it has me thinking there's such a huge microscope on Caleb right now, to the point where, let's say that interaction would have happened differently, and let's say Caleb embraces CJ and almost looks happy and smiles with him as CJ is giving him his flowers and giving him some advice. Then maybe the media spins it and says, shouldn't you be upset about the loss in the game?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay.
I think he did more damage by looking like a baby with that smirk on his face. And obviously we heard the soundbite. The microphone is right there. You know what I mean? So the advice that was given to him, like, listen, if you walk up to a busy intersection, right, and someone says, don't cross that street, and you proceed to cross that street anyways, and you get hit, that's your fault.
Sure.
Right? So I get it. Like, you didn't want to listen to the advice, but it was really good advice at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So like I said, it wasn't like he was trying to throw shade on the defeat. It wasn't like he was trying to make him feel like he was inferior to him. So I'm on CJ's side. Like, I guess that to answer that question, I'm on CJ's side. And big ups to him for, uplifting another quarterback in the NFL, especially a rookie quarterback, and he's entering his second season. So he just went through all of what Caleb Williams is going through, kinda.
Yeah. So absolutely. That's a good point, man. Yeah. That made me change my thoughts on that topic.
But speaking of that though, Peyton, is the art of player development, has that gone away in the sport of football?
Another great point and another great question. Because if you go back 20, 25 years ago, other than the first overall pick, a lot of these rookie quarterbacks were not playing until their second, maybe even third year.
Yeah.
And there's a reason we talk about the quarterback position in football being the hardest position to play in sports.
Right.
And I think it's okay to be brought along slowly and prepare for that position as much as you can.
Yeah.
And we've seen greats in the past take that road.
Yeah.
Just to name a few, I mean, obviously Tom Brady, but then also Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, and Lamar Jackson. They all sat and waited.
100%.
So,
yep. You took all the quarterbacks that I was thinking about right out of my mouth, bro. Like, the crazy thing about it, I'm going to double down on it. Like, not only is it in the NFL, but also in college, right? So these student athletes are expecting, I don't know what these coaches are telling them and recruiting, but they're transferring schools after their freshman season. They're redshirt a season, and then they'll go, or either they play a season, and then they transfer to another school, and then they transfer to another school, and then they transfer to another school. So you did mention Tom Brady. Tom Brady sounded off on this, and he said that there are no more college programs. It's just teams, right? Because all the players are switching teams every chance that they get. And with the transfer portal in full effect, in my opinion, this holds true. Like, you can't fully develop if you have a different coach for 4 years. You know what I mean? Like, there's no systems. There are no systems in place. There are just playbooks. Like, you're not learning the program, you learning the playbook, and it's a different language everywhere you go. So you gotta forget about everything that you learned in the past, and now you gotta pick up something new. So I think this is I think this is exactly what I've been saying for a while now.
That's true.
And that's
you said it in the preseason, especially for the rookie quarterbacks. It's hard to just come in and perform at a high level right off the bat.
And that's why I really don't like the transfer portal. And then the NIL is more of a reason for them to, like, it's really making the game of college football itself a tough game to actually be a part of because there's so many elements. These kids are 18, 19 years old making hundreds of thousands of dollars, and now your mind isn't really where it needs to be. So while in the beginning of the show, while I said that I wish I had something like that to entice me to play football, I'm a loyal guy, so I would continue to be. I would try to stay at the school that recruited me for as long as I possibly can. Like back then, waiting until your senior year was a thing. Yep. Like waiting until you were a senior was a thing. You had 1 year to really show the NFL scouts what you had to offer.
You had to earn your stripes.
You know what I mean? So if you were playing as a sophomore quarterback, you were something special.
Right.
You know what I mean? And but if you had a junior year you was also special. But senior year, by all means, that's when you had your time to shine. You have sat in this program for a while. Yeah. And now is your time. Show me what you got.
Yeah.
So
I think he brings up a great point.
Yeah.
You just alluded to it.
Yeah, man. That's how I feel about that.
Yeah.
And then going back to what you were saying, the NFL wants players to come in and just be successful.
There's only one CJ Stroud for every 10, 20 other quarterbacks that come in. He's a bit of an anomaly, with how successful he was in his rookie season.
100%, because nobody expected him to be that way. You know what I mean? Nobody expected the Texans to be as powerful as they were last year. At the beginning of the season, I want to know how many people predicted that the Texans were going to make the playoffs.
I would go with 0. Yeah.
Especially after the season that they had prior to that.
Right.
So that's all I'm saying. And you mentioned the quarterbacks that have sit. Like you took all my quarterbacks away, man.
Yeah.
But look at the quarterbacks that they had in front of them.
Sure.
And look at where they are now. That proves just being in the same room as that greatness is a good thing. It's great for the player development.
Patience is a virtue. So
to answer the question, is the art of player development lost? It is. It really is. Too many GMs and head coaches want win now. Not too many teams are building for the next 5 years. They're building for a one and done type situation. So
yeah,
man, that can be a very lengthy conversation.
It can be.
And I would love to revisit that conversation, man. And
we should
actually break down like all the quarterbacks who have been successful, who they sat behind, if they sat behind somebody.
Yeah. And
all the first round draft picks or quarterbacks who came out of college and played right away. What were their records like? What was their stats like compared to somebody who sat?
And where are they now?
Right. I honestly, I would take out the guys who have been winning. So I would take out the Aaron Rodgers. I would take out the Pat Mahomes.
Yeah. Even the Lamars too. Lamar Jackson.
He sat behind Flacco.
Yeah. Not for a whole season, but for 10 or 11 games. Yep. Yeah.
That's an interesting case study. I think it's worth a visit.
And we'll have to revisit this conversation halfway through the season.
Yeah.
And next season when we potentially see guys like a Michael Penix or a Drake May, who did, in fact, sit behind a veteran.
All right, so since we here talking about NFL quarterbacks, let's go ahead and talk about the matchup of the week, man.
Sure.
Who's the team that you have as your matchup of the week?
So I don't think there are going to be many eyeballs on this game.
Okay.
And it's in the second window, but I'm going to go with the 49ers and the Rams.
Okay.
Just because I think I've got two teams really in desperation mode. The 49ers coming off of that loss to the Vikings, the Rams 0-2.
Yeah.
Both teams are pretty banged up.
Yeah.
Which team is going to play more desperate, get more gritty? Things of that nature. And by the way, the 49ers have gotten the better of the Rams for the most part in the regular season over the past 3 to 4 years.
Right.
So I want to see how the Rams respond to that.
Yeah, I don't think the Rams are really in a desperation mode right now.
Oh.
I think the Rams understand what's ahead of them.
All right.
And they're gonna try to figure out ways to win as much as they can. And now, to your point, for my matchup of the week,
Yeah.
I went with the Ravens-Cowboys. And this is because those two teams are in more of a desperation than I would say the Rams are.
Okay.
Right? So the Ravens sitting at 0-2.
Yeah.
They need a W.
Yeah.
The Cowboys, they're 1-1, rightfully so. But losing to the Saints, no offense to your team, but losing to the Saints is something that they could not predict.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So that put them in a bad spot. And now, with all these players getting big-time checks, Jerry Jones must be sitting up in that skybox thinking like, yo, hey, what the hell did I just do?
It's time to show up.
You know what I mean? So I think this is going to be a gutsy game.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a game that pretty much says a lot about both sides, right? So let me just go to my notes here, man, because
well, by the way, man, that might be my bet of the week. I love the Ravens in that spot.
I mean, okay, I'm one would say that the Ravens need this game more than the Cowboys need this game, but even if the Ravens fall to 0-3, I think they still have a path to the playoffs. So it wouldn't be panic time. All right, starting 0-3 is tough, but what you got, 14 games left after that, so
Correct.
It's still a long season by all means. But they need this win to build that confidence, get a quality win over a quality team.
Yeah.
I don't like the Cowboys. I don't like the Cowboys. That's why I went with the Saints last week, because I don't like the Cowboys. Hey, I hope the Cowboys go 0-17. 0-16 from here.
And to your point, this is a different Ravens team.
Yeah.
We're talking about 3 new offensive linemen, a lot of new pieces on the defensive side of the ball. So they do need to build up that confidence as this new unit.
Yeah. And not trying to look past this game, but they need to figure out how to win now. Even if they lose, it need to be one of those losses that you can take into the future. Right? So if they lose against the Cowboys, they need to understand that, well, Derrick Henry had over 150 yards. Lamar Jackson had over 250 yards passing and 2 touchdowns, whatever the case may be, right? So you got to hold your hat on things that you can move forward with in the future if you do lose this game, right? So you got to figure out what you can do well, because they haven't really been playing that well together.
Sure.
So, that's what I would say.
Yeah, for sure.
And here you go, like the next 3 games. They got the Bills, the Bengals, and the Commanders.
Yeah.
0-5, 0-6 ain't something that they want to do.
No, that doesn't sound like the Ravens, right?
Now I'm pressing that panic button. Hey, we need to figure something out ASAP.
Yeah. I mean, shoot, man, my whole life, the Ravens have been viable.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to picture them being a 1-5, 2-4 team, something like that. So, yeah.
So they need to figure it out. Like I said last week. I said it Tuesday after saying that they needed to run Derrick Henry last week, but 18 carries, that ain't it.
More. Fill it up.
That's the Kobe commercial. How will we know when enough is enough? More.
Yeah.
More. Continue. More. 22, 23, more.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's why he had 60 in his last game. I need more.
We need more, like 100%. So, and then once Dallas start loading the box up on you, now you can isolate those DBs. Now you can work your speedsters. Now you can get the ball. Now you can work the read option. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my thing for the Ravens, and that's my matchup. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Kind of stepped on the soapbox there. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good, man. What's our next segment? We got teams under the most pressure?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to talk teams under the most pressure, by all means, go ahead. I do have a couple in my head, so
yeah.
And honestly, my list hasn't really changed from last week, so
we're not really changing course here. I think each of those two teams that we were just hitting on are under some pressure. The Ravens, for obvious reasons, since they're 0-2. But when you think about the Cowboys in their last two home games, if you include last year's postseason loss to the Packers, they have not only lost, they've lost in embarrassing fashion.
Yeah.
So the Cowboys playing at home here against, even though they're 0-2, another very competitive team.
Right.
This is a big spot for them because they usually pick up a bunch of wins against the weaker NFC East. This is another chance for them to compete against a higher level team.
Yeah, so if I'm talking pressure, I think the pressure is more so on the Ravens this week than it is on the Cowboys. Like, of course, Jerry Jones wants to win. Of course, Cowboys Nation, they want to get as many W's as possible. But I don't think that this week they're probably pretty confident going into this game. But by all means, I don't think that this week is one of listen, the one reason why I don't like the Cowboys, and I'm just be open and honest about this, right?
We're talking about the Cowboys too much today.
Listen,
that might be my fault.
The one reason why I don't like the Cowboys is because they have superstar talent, but they can't figure out how to use it, right? They got Dak Prescott, they got CeeDee Lamb, they got what's your boy name? Is it
Micah?
No, Cooks on the
Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon Cooks on the outside. They, in the slot. They have Micah Parsons.
Sure.
They got
Trayvon
Diggs. Come on, like they got all this talent, right? And they still can't figure out how to put it together. That's like having the ingredients for a cake and then your cake turned into a pie. Like, what is happening here? Like, what is really happening here? Like, so nobody really understands. I definitely don't understand, and I can't stand the Cowboys because they got the most money in the NFL, and they spend it incorrectly every year.
I hear you.
So, by all means...
I don't think you're in the minority there. You're not the only one that doesn't like the Cowboys too much.
I know my boy Stephen A. don't like the Cowboys. Stephen A. love when the Cowboys lose. I saw a clip of Stephen.
He has a parade every time they lose.
Every time they lose, man, he loves it, and I'm kind of with him. I'm definitely on the back of that. But... yeah, so like I said, my team doesn't really change.
So who do you have for a team as being under the most pressure outside of Ravens Cowboys?
Man, and I hate to be a homer here, but the Dolphins. Yeah.
On the road in Seattle as an underdog.
Not even that. You don't have a backup quarterback. As of right now, you don't have a backup quarterback. You got Skylar Thompson.
Right.
And what happens after that? You know what I mean? So by all means, you have all of these players that you just extended, and you were expecting big things from them. So, like I said, I don't really want to sound like a homer, but for me, the Dolphins are in a very bad spot.
Yeah.
Now, if they could pick up a win in Seattle with a backup quarterback, that'd be great. That'd definitely be great, but they are under a lot of pressure down there in South Florida.
Yeah.
So
that's a good point. That's a good team. I like that one.
Yeah. Let me think. I guess any team right now that's 0-2.
Yeah.
Any team that's 0-2.
The Jags are playing the Bills
on
Monday night. And you know who the Jags have the week after? They're at the Texans.
Hey, listen, I'm not gonna lie.
It's time to go.
I need the Jags to go ahead and pull through for me.
Oh, I didn't know about this.
I need the Jags. Why? They're playing the Bills.
Oh, okay. I'm putting two and two together now. It took me a little bit of time, and you just finished talking about the Dolphins.
Yeah,
I know that.
Yeah, no, I need them to pull through for me, man, and make something happen, man. I'm always rooting against the Bills. Man, I'm sorry, bro. Like, you just got me in my feelings by mentioning the Bills. Like, I was good.
Oh, you mean my Super Bowl pick?
I was good, bro.
Yeah.
We cannot beat the Bills for nothing, bro. Like, I get it. Tua went down in that game. But Tua wouldn't have went down in that game had we been up. Tua went down because he
was pressing a little bit.
He was in desperation mode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he felt like he had a chip on his shoulder. He had the weight of the team on his back. And he had to take matters into his own hands.
Yeah.
So he put his life on the line to try to win a game. Man.
You know, for the Dolphins this week, I'm looking for that defense to step up because you know the backup quarterback's playing. You know the Seahawks are a defense-oriented team.
Yeah.
Why not step up to the challenge, make it a slugfest, make it a defensive game?
Ooh, I'm looking for Mike McDaniels to step up.
Yeah.
And figure out a way to manage this game.
Okay.
Because if we go 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out.
That's going to be a loss.
Woo!
Yeah.
That is a bad spot to be in.
Right.
That is a terrible spot to be in.
Yeah.
All right. So that was our, I guess, game of the week.
Yeah, and our team's under pressure.
Yeah, team's under pressure. So
sure.
Now we got the coach 'em up segment.
Yep.
Peyton, I gave you a nice little poem last week. I need you to go ahead and come on now. Coach them up. What's your team that you coaching up this week?
Well, I just hit on them for a second, but what about the 0-2 Jacksonville Jaguars?
Okay. Coach them up then.
Yeah, so I've even gone back and watched a couple of replays. The Week 1 game against the Dolphins, the Week 2 game against the Browns. There's just something missing right now, and I will say for them, they're trying to gel together as an offense. You're talking about a new center, a couple of new receivers. But in the NFL, that's not an excuse. At the end of the day, you have to get it done.
Yeah.
They're just a tick off on that side of the ball, just a second off. So I'm looking for them to take that extra day of preparation since they play on a Monday night, put it all together, get some better play calling in there, get T-Law, Trevor Lawrence to play a little bit more confidently on a regular basis, and get a much-needed win in Buffalo. And they're a 5-point underdog right now. You can expect them to play with great effort in that one. I'm not worried about their defense. The defense has been pretty good through 2 games.
Yeah.
It's just about the offense putting together something and being in rhythm and on time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you, and I hope everything that you're talking about right now comes true. I'm hoping it comes true, bro, because I need this. I would love to coach up my fans, but I'm not even going to go there. I'm going to just...
Who are you coaching up this week?
I'm not coaching up anybody, man.
Oh, okay.
I'm not coaching up anybody.
Then you must be seeing good football out there.
Hey, listen. I'm going to coach up the Patriots, actually. Now that I think about it, I'm going to coach up the Patriots.
Who play in, a couple of minutes.
In a couple of minutes, right.
Yeah.
So with the Patriots, keep the ball out of the air.
Man.
Because that secondary is threatening. The Jets' defensive line, they're not banged up, but they look a little weaker than we thought they would be.
They've been giving up a lot of yards on the ground.
Yeah.
49ers and the Titans ran over them.
And they have the Patriots have 2 running backs that can move the ball with Ramondre Stevenson and Antonio Gibson. By all means, I think that these guys are 2 running backs who can get the job done. As a tandem, right? Like, you can't force feed one guy. Ramondre Stevenson is more of the power back. Gibson is more of the change of pace back. So that's what I would say. As well as you got Jacoby Brissett, but by all means, the receiving core isn't really the strength of that team right now.
Good point.
Right now, you have some okay targets out there. You got Hunter Henry as the tight end.
Man, I can't even think of their receivers right now.
Shoot, I mean, by all means.
I guess we're gonna find out tonight. Listen, I haven't watched them yet.
By all means, even when Tom Brady was their quarterback. If Tom Brady wasn't their quarterback and he wasn't getting the ball exactly where it needed to be, those guys will also be no-name receivers. Come on, man. Come on. I mean, listen, Wes Welker is my prime example. When he was in Miami, nobody knew who Wes Welker was. All right, maybe some people knew who he was. Okay, I get it. Don't cut my head off for that. But what I'm saying is, Wes Welker wasn't a household name. He goes to New England, quarterback Tom Brady. Now, Wes Welker with the touchdown. Like, oh my gosh, like where was this, right?
Right.
So, Amendola, Edelman, those guys would have been average guys had they been on another team. So, and it's not like New England to have well-known receivers. I mean, they had Tim Brown. They definitely had Randy Moss. I get it.
Hey,
They had Gronk.
You made me think of something.
I get it.
Are you familiar with Thad Boy? He's like a social media personality.
I'm not.
Well, he had this little segment where he takes on the personality and he impersonates Bill Belichick.
Okay.
And he's taken a look at receivers on tape and like who he would like to have on his team, who he would draft per se.
Yeah.
And he just keeps going through the players. He goes, he's too fast. He's too fast. And then he finds a guy that played backup quarterback in college in Julian Edelman.
Right.
Perfect. He's good, man. You got to look him up. I'll show you Thad Boy. He's good, man.
No, but that's exactly like come on, like Bill Belichick and the Patriots organization was out there turning anybody's into somebody's, man. Like they were like, I could have been successful on that team.
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro. Like, I played offense in college. Like, I would have got drafted and they would have switched me over to D-line.
There you go.
Like, I would have led the league in sacks, man. Like, come on, man. But, yeah, man. But that's it, bro. That's all we got for today, man.
I think so, man.
That was a pretty quick show.
It was a good one.
But that was a good one, for sure. For sure.
Like you said, a little more fluffy, a little more culture. I like it.
Yeah, man.
A change up.
I think I'm ready to watch some football at this point.
There you go.
I'm ready to watch some football at this point.
Me too.
And I haven't told you yet, but I got a 4-leg parlay for the night. So
oh, snap.
I'm about to
be on the watch out, people.
I'm about to let you know exactly what's going down. And
okay, good.
I think it's very possible that I hit tonight, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. But with that being said, if you guys made it this far, we really do appreciate you, man. For Peyton and myself, man, thank you guys for all the support, all the love. If you're not already, please make sure that you press that subscribe button. If you already pressed that subscribe button, tell a friend to press that subscribe button, and tell a friend to tell a friend. By all means, we need all the support and love that we could possibly get. If you're not already, please make sure you're following us on social media at the Sportaholics. That's THEE Sportaholics. By all means, man, we appreciate everybody for tuning in today.
And like we've said, we want to hear what you guys think as well. We love being part of the conversation, so let us know what you're thinking about what we're talking about.
Yeah, and you guys drive the conversation. Please make sure that you drop a comment on this video. I know I probably have some crazy takes. He's the expert, so I would never go against anything that he says. But yeah, my takes are a little bit more outrageous. So look at him.
We got a yin yang thing going. It's good.
Definitely got a yin and yang type style going on here, man. So I'm happy to be doing this show with you, bro.
Absolutely, bro. It's always fun.
Yes, sir. So we're gonna go ahead and catch some football tonight, man. Peyton, if you don't have anything else, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off just like that.
Yeah, man.
All right. Until next time, guys. We're out. We're the Sportaholics, man. See you next time.
See you next time.
Yes, sir. Good show,
Nice,
man.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
like
good show. Good show.
Like I said, man.